The thing you want to do as a new seller in that first 90 days is you want to show your new boss and the people around you that you're capable of carrying the conversation, you're focusing your efforts in the right place.
John Smybert with Tony Hughes. Welcome back, Tony.
Hi, John. Really looking forward to the conversation.
Tony, what I want to talk to you about today is salespeople going into a new sales role. How do they plan out and manage their first 90 days to really position themselves properly in that new role?
My advice to any seller is this: when you start a new job, obviously what you're wanting to do is to build trust and confidence within your new boss about your ability to succeed.
And your customer base.
And the customer base, I definitely agree with that. But you need to show your boss that you've got a plan, that you're highly likely to be successful, because you're going to be dealing with a probation period. So I've got some ideas on how you can do that effectively.
Okay, so let's go through those ideas. I mean, it's fairly critical, but the sales people are the average tenure in a role is something like 15 months in the B2B sales world. So people are changing their roles a lot. And yeah, if you nail it and get into a new role, get comfortable, find you've got a good customer base that grows to trust you, and you've got a boss that's supporting you, hey, you can make hay while the sun shines. But you need to do that, right?
Yeah, exactly. So here's my advice. The first thing you need to do is you need to think about who are you targeting. So make sure that your employer, and therefore you as well, has clarity about ideal customer profile. Not everybody in the world is a prospect within your territory. So what constitutes ideal customer profile?
Less is more, right? Less is more.
Absolutely, less is more. So what are the attributes, characteristics of an organization that makes them an ideal prospect? Is there complementary technologies they've got installed? Are there competitor products that you're good at replacing or coexisting with? Like, really think about those things. Are they in growth mode? What are the attributes of the ideal organization for you to target? Because the biggest constraint resource we're facing is not market, it's time. So we need to apply a time with the right organizations. Next thing is, really think about your buyer personas. So there'll be roles in those organizations that you engage with. Go to your new employer and say, hey, what documentation do we have here on ICP, Ideal Customer Profile, and buyer personas? And as part of that, the trigger events I should be monitoring and the best messaging. You know, what really matters to these people? What business problems can we help them solve? So make sure you understand.
And by the way, that's got nothing to do with your product or your customer, your company. It's all to do with the client and the issues they're facing.
Yeah, because buyers today expect us to show them that we know them to a degree. They expect us to turn up with a point of view, not to rabbit on about our company and what we do. And then what flows out of all of this is that you'll then have the opportunity to really start to nail your narrative or your messaging, the conversation narrative. And then once you've done that, obviously build your lists and start to time block all of your outbound activity, as well as progressing that pipeline that you've hopefully inherited. So every day, both oars in the water, you know, pulling on one oar of creating opportunity pipeline, the other oar of progressing and closing deals. Time block that, show your boss that you're doing it. But the other critical thing that makes a huge difference in those first 90 days is go and find your best customers within your territory, the ones you're going to want to reference, and ask them questions like, hey, what happened inside your organization that started you down the path that eventually led to us 3 years ago, right? So try and get a sense of what the trigger events are. Ask them, what was the business case that you put up internally to justify the investment of working with us? So now you're getting a sense of business case, because if you can provide insights around business case for your new prospects to secure the right level of funding and executive support, you're really differentiating yourself in how you engage. And we know from all the research, that's the most important factor in winning a deal. And then the third question is, hey, there were results promised inside the organization in working with us X period of time ago. Has it happened? Because if it hasn't, I want to help you. And that'll really open opportunities for upsell and cross-sell inside an organization. We want to convey the right positive intent, that we're about you as the customer or the prospective customer improving results in your role. I'm all about making sure we delivered on what that promise was in working together previously. And that level of intent gets people to lean into the conversations. That'll really help you in those first 90 days.
I think that's really good advice, Tony. obviously in most organisations, 60% or more of revenue comes out of existing customers, and they're much easier to generate more revenue out of existing customers than new customers. So that puts you in a good seat to move in that direction. But the other two, you learn so much about the issues and challenges that those customers are facing that other customers in your target market will be facing. So that builds that domain expertise you can carry across to your new potential customers, right?
Yes. And the thing you want to do as a new seller in that first 90 days is you want to show your new boss and the people around you that you're capable of carrying the conversation, you're focusing your efforts in the right place, and you're disciplined and methodical in time blocking the activity that it's going to take to actually be successful. And that'll really instill confidence and attract the resources around you that you'll need to succeed.
And you're getting on the phone and you're getting out there and seeing them.
Yeah, don't neglect the phone. We need to get back on the phone. Absolutely.
Tony, thank you very much. Great advice. I hope that's been beneficial to anybody about to change jobs. Here's the plan. You can land running, get the first 90 days nailed, and you've got a great future in that new job.
Thanks, John.
Thanks, Tony.
The new page-turning sales novel, The Wentworth Prospect. In the words of one reviewer, it's B2B sales mastery delivered in an ingenious, engaging, and hugely entertaining way. Get it now at your favourite book retailer.